giornale on a homeschool mom. Today I thought I would talk about fasting and we'll discuss a bit about my experience, the experience which actually brought to the birth of this YouTube channel, and I hope you'll be encouraged. So basically, as you already heard in the previous videos, I was born in a Christian family, raised in a Christian family. My dad is a pastor, so that means the Bible, the Christian life, God was part of our lives since I was a baby. But I got to a point lately where I was thinking about fasting. Fasting is a spiritual discipline that should be part of every Christian's life, right? That's what the Bible says. But I got to a point where I felt like I didn't really experience the power of fasting in my life, not personally. I got to a point where I just felt like fasting in my life was just an empty ritual. It was as if I was just like kind of giving up food for a day or two or whatever, and then praying maybe a little bit more than normal, but that's about it. That was about it. And I was like, that's not right. So I got to a point at the end of March, beginning of April, where I was reading a little bit about fasting. In my devotional time, I normally prefer to spend it or have it in the morning. It doesn't mean that that's the way to have it. It's just the way I prefer to. For example, my husband has it in the evening, and that's perfectly fine. It's just we are different. We are in different seasons. We work differently, different personalities, so it's okay. As long as you have it, that's fantastic. But basically, in my time with God, I normally read my Bible, have my prayer journal with me. I obviously pray. And then I also follow and read some devotionals from the YouVersion app. So I was kind of going through some plans about fasting, especially as it was the week. It was the period before Easter. So there were a lot of Bible plans about Lent, and I was just like kind of reading and thinking about it, praying about it. I'll tell you the truth sincerely, because one of the purposes of this channel is to be able to be transparent as we are. I felt like fasting, at least in my life and in our culture, in our Christian evangelical culture in Romania, it felt like it to me. I'm not saying it is like that. I just felt it that way. I felt like fasting was a bit like a slot machine, I think it's called in English. Basically a game machine where you put some coins in and then you press and you get whatever you want to get. So I felt a bit like fasting was that with God. It was as if, okay, I'll fast once a week or twice a week, or I fast every Friday, so that you, God, will bring the miracle in my life, so that you will provide for their needs, so that you will heal the person in my family. So I just really felt it like it was just not right. As I said, and I repeat again, I'm not saying this is the actual culture. I felt like this was the actual culture. That was through my eyes, or through my experience, or just through my eyes, basically. So I was like, in my relationship and in my discussions with God, I was like, I would really love to experience what you meant fasting to be. We have fasting appearing many times in the Bible. In the Old Testament, Isaiah talks a lot about fasting, but we also see that Jesus fasted for 40 days. We see that his disciples, they were not fasting while they were with Jesus, which is one of the reasons why the Pharisees came and were like, why don't your disciples fast? And Jesus was like, they will after I'm gone. So which means we are supposed to be fasting. But I just really felt it like an empty ritual, and I was like, I don't see it being right. And I got to this point where I was like, okay, God, what do you want to do? It was a morning prayer time I was having with God in my bedroom. And I was like, okay, God, there were still about 20 something days until the Romanian Easter, which is different than the rest of you guys' Easter. Many times it's not the same day. And basically I was like, okay, God, I'll take the next month, more or less a month, and I'll give it to you as an empty paper, as an empty sheet of paper. and I want you to tell me what you want to do. Let's write something together. I don't have any agenda. I'm just having this. I'll do this fast, and then I'll see what you do. Now, what was I fasting from? Normally, fasting has to do with food, right? That's what we know, that's what we heard, and it does have to do with food. But at this point in my life, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give up. I wouldn't be able to give up food for 20 something days because I still had to function as a wife, as a mom, as a woman, as a homeschool mom. So I needed the energy. But I was like, and I felt like God was telling me what to give up, because fasting really means give up something and then feast on God. So I was like, okay, God, basically, I'm gonna go now, be back. This year has been really, really busy for us as a family. I mean, the war coming, and then we got a bit involved with the Ukrainians, which meant a lot of afternoons being involved in different things. We didn't do that much, but still, we had to spend our time, and we used a lot of our time there. I had a lot of work, extra work, and every evening, basically, our kids used normally go to bed at 8 o'clock. And all this time until about 10, 11, I used to crochet, because it was the only time when I could crochet. I also crochet toys, by the way. I'll leave the link down below for my page and my Etsy shop for you international guys. And basically, you can see what I do, a bit of extra, helping a bit our income, our budget. But basically, normally, in the evening while I was crocheting, I used to like putting something on my laptop. And because I was so mentally overwhelmed and tired in this lately, I couldn't really listen to any preaching, studies, or anything that had to do with feeding my soul. I just used to put some like weather vlogs, like the Bake Off, or series or films on. And basically, it wasn't necessarily that was something bad, because I wasn't watching something questionable. It was just that it wasn't giving me anything good. So I was like, okay, God, this is gonna hurt me. This is gonna get me out of my comfort zone. So I'm gonna give up this. And I still have to listen to something, because I can't just crochet on in silence. It doesn't work. But I need you to tell me what. And God worked in such an amazing way. I don't even know today how I got to some videos on YouTube. And I was listening to this lady talking about different subjects. And it was as if somebody switched the light on in my head, and I managed to understand some things. Basically, God was kind of telling me, girl, you have to work in some stuff in your life. Chapters that I thought were closed, and God was like, you're almost there, but you still have a few steps to do. So I was like, okay, God. And then God guided me. I don't even know, like, I can't explain it, but God. That I got to these videos which were explaining so many things. I managed to understand a lot of things. It was as if God brought peace to some of the experiences in my life. He brought peace in my mind towards some things. I could understand why some things happened, why I did some things, or why I reacted in different ways. It's just like proper closure that God was bringing. And then to top it off, I remember it was in a Wednesday evening in the church. The first Wednesday of every month, we have a prayer meeting in church. And while I was in this process of kind of every day walking with God to see what else He wants me to do, I was stuck. And I went and I talked to a friend who kind of knew what I was dealing with. And I said, look, Alice, can you please pray for me? Look what God is doing, and I really need to know what's the next step. Well, I can't remember exactly if it was the same night or if it was the next morning, but basically like 24 hours maximum, God already gave me the answer. He was so specific that, I mean, it was only God. Only God could have known that and do it in such a way. He told me exactly where to go, which is kind of a bit high up on the mountains. You have to go a bit high up, where you can see the whole town from there. It's like one of my favorite spots in town to go and just be with God, or just go and be. And God told me specifically, I have to go there. and I had to write 2 letters. It was so specific. And I remember it was almost a week later because it kept raining outside. So I didn't have good weather to go. It was a Wednesday, yeah, I think it was about a week after, and I told Sam today I'm gonna go because he obviously knew the process I was going through. And I told him what I had to do, and I said, okay, I'll prepare lunch for you guys, and then I'll be going, and I'll be there for about 2-3 hours. So we did school in the morning with the kids. I did school with the kids in the morning. Then I left them lunch. I took my flask of coffee, my Bible, my prayer journal, my earphones, and my phone, and I left. While I was there, I knew exactly what I had to write. While I was writing those letters, the words just started coming because I knew more or less what it had to contain, but I didn't have the words. It was just like God was really letting it flow. And in the same time, I experienced something that I rarely experienced in my life. It wasn't just peace. It was as if Jesus was sitting right next to me. I couldn't see him physically, obviously. I didn't hear him physically or audibly, but I really had like such a strong feeling of him being next to me. It was like a few hours mixed with joy, a bit of sorrow-ish, but it was joy, tears. There were tears as well, but it was just this incredible feeling of peace and feeling completely accepted and loved. I mean, unless you experienced it, it's really hard to describe. It was just basically as literally Jesus was sitting next to me. So I did that. God brought some closure. Fast forward, we went on holidays to my parents. And before that, I was kind of chatting with my brother. And you've seen I have more brothers. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. But you've seen my brother Danny in the video from last week. And I was like just kind of telling him that maybe one day I might open a YouTube channel and kind of move my blog from a written format to a video audio format. I was like, but I don't know, just pray about it. We didn't really talk about it. It's just like kind of mentioning it in a discussion, but nothing serious of a discussion. So after about 2-3 days, when I arrived at my parents, God did something that I did not expect, nor did I search, nor did I look for. He got me the mic. You see here, he got me the little mixer you need. It's good to have, so you have a better quality sound. So I am recording with my phone, so it's not such a good quality as it would be with a camera. But if I didn't have the mixer and the microphone, the sound would have been so much more broken and not such a good quality. And God provided these things, and I was like, whoa. I mean, we're talking about a few €100, which is not a lot, but it was a lot at that moment, and it wasn't the money we could spend on these things. So I was like just in awe of God, of how he worked things out. And I suppose I experienced what the Bible verse says: search first for the kingdom of God and he'll take care of all your needs. And this was not necessarily, it was a need, but I didn't even know it was a need. I didn't even know. When I said to God, if he wants me to start, I'll start with my phone and just like a stand for the phone so it doesn't shake in my hand, and that was about it. And God kind of just went a step forward and he provided all these things. So I really felt like that verse coming true in this time in my life. And also during this month of fasting, I had so many orders of toys. I had more in this amount than probably I had in a whole year. It's not even a business yet to say. It's just like I'm trying to get it off so that it works as a business. Hopefully it's a smaller business, but I was like, just wow, I focused on God and what he said I should focus on, and he kind of took care of the rest. So basically, what I want to encourage you through this video is not necessarily to fast or experience God the same way I did, because this is my experience, but just as each of us are unique, so is the relationship with God. So basically, what I want to encourage you is just to dare and ask God. Maybe you're questioning different things about God. He cannot wait to show himself to you. And I'm thinking many times, about the Bible verse that says, if we who are evil can give good things to our children. And I'm thinking about my kids. If they were like, Mom, I'm hungry, can you please pass me something, or give me something, prepare something for me? I wouldn't be giving them stones, or I wouldn't give them snakes, like the Bible verse says. It's just an example. But I would actually try and prepare something good, something that they enjoy, something that is healthy for them, and something that it will fulfill the hunger. So if I, who I am broken and I'm fallen and I'm evil on my own, how much more God, who is good, will not want to give us good things? And I'm not talking about material or whatnot. The amazing thing about what God does, it's about what He does in us. I mean, the mic and the YouTube, even the YouTube channel and the toys that I manage and the money I managed to make that month, those were extra. The things I'm mostly grateful about is what God really did inside of my heart and what God transformed in me. Yeah, I just encourage you to search God, ask Him, dare to ask Him about different things. He might not answer as you expect, when you expect, how you expect, but He can't wait to discover Himself to you. So that's my encouragement for you, and I hope you're gonna live encouraged and passionate to discover more of God. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I know it sounds so cliche for a YouTube channel to say that, but you're really helping, and why not share it if you think it will help a friend? Go for it. And I really hope I'll hear from you how God answered your prayers or how God changed some things in your life, or how God answered some of your prayers. I would really love to hear that. I'll feel very encouraged. I feel normally encouraged from hearing other people's story. So please go for it, let me know, and have a blessed weekend, and yeah, experience God more. Be blessed and thank you. Bye!